again. Hello, it's Lord Haywire. I clicked start stream and it just sat there, so I had to click it again. It's mid talk. I am making. I forgot what I was doing because of that. I'm making a 2D 4X game, which is called 2D 4X right now. It is a strategy game. We've been working. It's inspired by, like, Paradox games like Crusader Kings and Victoria 3, that type of thing. It is made in Godot. It's open source, and I've been working on it for quite a while now. Learning C# as I go, and we are working on some combat stuff. Let's actually go to here. We'll take a look at it, what we're up to. I had a bug yesterday when I streamed, and I fixed it offline because it was annoying me when I wasn't even working on the game. I was just annoyed all the time. So if you click on this, what we're working on here is it's going to bring up a list of combatants. I really wanted this panel to be adjustable, but I couldn't get it to work. With the way I wanted it, it just wasn't working. So it's gonna be like this. We're gonna make it so you can't click through the panel. Of course, that's as you can see, I'm moving around and I can select things through. But we'll get rid of that, and you'll be able to kind of see with this list here what's going on. Because I want, a lot of times I like to sit and watch combat, so I can unpause it here. We'll keep that working. I like to sit and watch combat as it's going on, but because it's a real-time game, other things, more troops could be coming, whatever, so you got to kind of keep an eye on it. So you'll be able to look through this, I guess. It's not really what I wanted, and actually, the more I think about this, I want to do this completely differently in the long run, but for right now, that works. And so we're going to get this list of combatants. I think what we'll do in the long run, I wanted this at the bottom, but I think the battle log is actually less useful. You can scroll through it. We're going to have it too where you can't zoom in and out, and this scroll will work with the scroll wheel. I think this is interesting for the person the first few times they get into a battle, or for maybe the first battle, but after that, I don't think they give a shit that much. So I think we'll make this smaller and move it somewhere, and we'll rearrange all this stuff. Everything that I've done so far is eventually going to be rearranged. So, like, think of CK3, where it's got that battle thing at the bottom, where you can still see the map and stuff. That's what I was kind of going for. Then I added this list of combatants, because the list of combatants is definitely going to be very useful for the player to understand what's going on. And that's kind of the problem that we're having, is even troubleshooting issues. It's kind of a pain to know what's going on. So I'll probably reduce this all down. I mean, I guess we could do that now. But before we even get into that, I wanted to do, so when I start the game, a thing has been annoying me for a while. Let's load. It doesn't really matter. The camera always sits here, but I think it should center on the player's capital to start with. So I think that's and that shouldn't be that hard. Yesterday I was like, oh, this thing won't be hard to do, and then it was a hellish nightmare, that whole panel. It was just, I just could not get that thing to work how I wanted it to work. It was horrible. Just horrible. Anyways, center camera on start. No, on player capital. It's always like, I never know if it's a capital or a O capital. I think it's an O capital. No, yeah, capital versus capital. It's an O capital. Player, the whole thing went away. Capital. All right. That just looks so wrong to me. That's got to be wrong, right? what a capital city. Oh, capital. Wait, what? Use capital when referring to a specific legislative building. Use capital when referring to is this right? To a city that capitals. It's an A capital. Maybe that's my confusion. Okay. So this shouldn't be that hard. Let's see. Where does the camera fire off? At what order? I think the camera is like first. It is. And the reason this thing is giving us shit is that we haven't put a boundary on it yet. So let's see here. It does fire off first. So probably what we want to do. It looks like I got rid of an instance of this camera. I haven't messed with the camera in a while. And this code, like, this makes no sense. I was reading this before I started streaming. I didn't write this either, I can tell, because I didn't capitalize that, or whoever. So let's get that out of there. There was a guy who volunteered to help for 10 seconds, and it may have been him that wrote that. And it's been significantly, well, not significant, it's been changed away from what he wrote. So let's see here. Change back. So that let's get rid of that garbage. So I think what we actually need to do is put this instance back, and we'll fire this at the very end. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll fire this. The counties are loaded here. So we need this after this. We could put it, let's put it in player UI canvas on ready. Well, let's go back to our camera. Let's cut this thing. Let's put this, and we'll go, what was that? The camera is the name of that script? Instance dot that. This is probably, yeah, private. I didn't double check my streams, especially after that weird click where it didn't do anything. There we go. All right, so then we got to make this do something. I suddenly forgot how to click through things. It's control. So we need to get the county, and so global. So we need to have a county equals globals instance, and I think we've. Oh, I moved this to auto load. I think. Actually, I don't remember. Not auto load space. It will be in the auto load space. Player faction data dot. I don't know if we keep track of the capital. I think we're gonna have to for each through all of these. Let's look at the faction data, because I can't actually remember. Do we have faction data open? Man, I need to get glasses. We do have a lot of crap open. We don't need that open. We don't need this open. We don't need token movement. Oh yeah, so I fixed that issue last night, and I was cooking dinner, and I was like, I have 19 minutes before my dinner is done. Can I fix this in time? And it took me like 5 minutes to fix it, and then it started happening in a different place. So we're gonna probably have to fix that too. And I didn't feel like fixing that one at that point. So yeah, let's look at faction data and see. Maybe we want to put a capital thing in there. I have a feeling we don't, though. I mean, we don't have one now. We could add. I wonder if I capital. Oh, we do. It's an int. Okay, so this is what we will do. Is this gonna return? We're gonna return a county data. So what we will do is put it, I'm pretty sure, what did I call that? What was that? Faction capital county. So that's going to return an int. And we have, I think it's in globals. It also, I think, is actually an auto load. I can never remember where anything is at this point. Get, no, it's not in there. Is it in globals? It shouldn't be an auto load now that I think about it. Get county data from location ID. And I think we just need this, but this is going to return a county data. Yeah, it says right in the title. County data. County data. So this is going to get our faction or our county or our faction capital from here, and then we got to get from this. It's going to be a vector 2, I think. Capital position. Now I wonder if that's a capital with an O. I don't know. So we're going to go county data dot county node dot. Oh, look, we have a circular thing there. In here, I think it's under county as well. I haven't messed with this stuff in a long time. It is not. County overlay node. This is a node 2D. Let's look at what a county looks like. I have one open. Or already right here. So county overlay node is this one. Capital sprite is what we could get. So we will go. We're not going to be able to put the position here just yet. Actually, we can. Yeah, it's going to be over the sprite. So it's county node overlay something. Get child. It was the first one. Dot position. No, we want global. Oh, it's not going to let me do this because it doesn't know what this is. We can cast it, I think. That's not going to help us. Let's do this. This is, what was this thing? I think it was a sprite of some sort. Capital sprite. Sprite. Why are you white? You don't know what a sprite is. Sprite 2D, I think, is what we want. There we go. Capital sprite equals this. This, we probably need to cast this. And let's double check that this actually is a sprite. That sure looks like a sprite. I don't use get child very much, but in this program, in other ones I do. Because I like to move shit around. Capital position then will be capital sprite. We want global position, I'm pretty sure. Global position. And then from here, we will do, what do we have in here? I assume there's a camera. We are attached to a camera, so we can just go this. Do we have global position? Let's see what this does. Okay, we don't need this. Crystal, how's it going? You know, I was gonna raid you yesterday, and then you weren't streaming, which, you know, that's fine. Then like 5 minutes after I raided someone else, you were streaming, and I was like, damn it! it's that's life, right? All right, let's see what happens when we do this. It should be, like I said, relatively simple. It's some basic shit. We got a bug. I think it's gonna happen too soon. Yes, so the camera instance has not happened yet. We got our instance there. We could call deferred on it, except you can't call deferred on a thing that's an instance. You know, I was talking to Critter because he had something weird in his ready, and it was for a similar. He was trying to move. He had a he put whatever. He had a this in a different spot because it was happening too soon. So he had like a getter setter or something, a property that was firing it earlier. Because they do the orders kind of interesting in Godot. You got to get used to it. So let's go back to this. Where did we put that thing? We put it in the player canvas. Oh, you know why? Probably is the player What? We're on the wrong thing here. The player canvas is, yeah, top one. So it's going to do all these ones first. It goes up. So it goes up like this. But it does the babies first. So let's put it. Trying to think. We could. I kind of like it in the player UI canvas. We could do call deferred, name of, center camera, and we'll do that. And then actually, I don't think you need the. Then we'll do this, and we'll see how this rolls here. What's your problem? A private object. And then we don't need, it's this. All right, now let's see what happens here. It seems like call deferred is the way that you do it in Godot, and I don't know. It feels weird to do call deferred because it's not. It's not a set time. It just kind of goes once everything else is done. So that didn't work. The reason we might not have messed with this is because of something like this. We could, no, I was thinking we could adjust the camera, just put the camera in here, get the camera. We'll have to move this somewhere else. So we load all the things. I forget how the order goes. I think it goes. I know it goes up the children and then it gets to this. But I can't remember if it goes up all of the children first. Like, you know, it goes up this children and then this children and then this children. If we put it inside the camera, what is the problem with that? The problem with that is that there isn't a county assigned yet. Unless this is running at the very end. If it is, let's do this. And we can go back to the camera and we can do this. I feel like that's definitely not gonna work like that. It's gonna happen too soon, but maybe that's happening last. I cannot remember the order. I have to look it up again. Are we gonna restart here? No. Let's load. No bugs and also no centering. Probably, I would guess. There is no position at that time or something. Did you not get to here? Oh, we have two open. I was like, what's going on here? Get out of here. Okay. It doesn't get to here? Do you not have a ready or something? Camera, ready. What? Um, that would be a reason. Okay, what is? Oh, that's just because I closed it. Um, it's a camera 2D. See, what did I say at the beginning? The minute we start fucking with this, something that should be relatively simple is not. So why are you not ever going? Why aren't you ever? You're not doing anything. GD print. Did I not click this button? I think I did. Uh, we'll do rich so that it is obvious here. Camera, not all caps. Initialize, sure, whatever. Camera. Okay, why are you skipping this? Do we have something turned on where it doesn't? It's always. Is there another camera in here somewhere? Um, ready? It's possible we have turned something off, but it would say right here, mode always. Camera 2D. I have messed with camera 2Ds quite a lot. But if this ready isn't going, maybe that's why that ready was commented out. I should have put a little note in there. What is the name of this? Camera control. Camera control? Then what is this camera? What is this attached to? Do we have two scripts? Can we search up here for a script on something? We're gonna delete a camera control here. Let's do this. I'm gonna move so that the reason why that isn't working because there is no camera control. I'm gonna dump this somewhere. Here, I'll put it in my downloads. We're gonna take this camera script. That's why that there was that old comment in there. What am I doing? Probably because and I'm usually pretty hardcore about just deleting shit. 2D4X. We're gonna close this thing. Stop and close. We're gonna go to scripts. We're gonna go to we're gonna copy this and we're gonna close this. Camera versus camera controls. Camera you to. I'm just gonna dump you in here temporarily. My downloads is kind of my dump folder because I just delete shit out of it every once in a while. Okay. If we hit play, are we gonna get like an error because there was no camera? Now? How the fuck did that happen? Okay. Camera controls. Yeah, I think that was because that other guy made something. Because that's what he was working on when he volunteered to help. So let's see what. So now this instance exists, and we probably have to put it in the other spot. But let's put this here and just see what happens. At least we'll get something out of it. Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot because I'm going to hire another developer. I've been thinking about um, what. Yeah, so this happens too soon. This is what I was expecting to happen. That it doesn't, it can't get this stuff yet. So this is why we're going to put this instance over in here. Let's see if we can just call the furthest without this thing. If we can just do this instead. Yeah, so I've been really curious how collaboration works in programming. Like, I mean, I know the concept, the overall view of how it works, but like how it actually works, god damn it, is a different thing. Because when I worked with that one guy very briefly, like I said, there was very little collaboration, and it was a problem. Um, okay, so this is not an instance yet. Oh, you know what though? This still says camera. Camera doesn't exist anymore. And we'll put this here just in case we use it in a second. Why is it pulling something up if camera doesn't exist? Can we click through to this? I deleted this. I deleted this, but Godot thinks it still exists. Files, removing this file, scripts, camera. There's probably some catastrophic. Oh, you know, I think it's being used in I think I know where it is. It's being used in the map editor. But what we'll do if that's the case, I bet you that's what it is. It's being used in the map editor. So this definitely moved it, but not to the right spot. So this is centered in, I don't know where this is, but this is not the right spot. And we can still move stuff around. Let's look at the map editor. I bet you that's where that thing is used. And if that's the case, we will rename it. We will rename it. This isn't what we want. No, this is what we want. I'm going to play this scene. This is how this is supposed to work. So, and I can move the camera around. Level editor, yeah. Well, I feel like it's going. Okay, wait. Look at this. Oh no, that's just that dumb shit. Map editor camera character. So yeah, I don't know what that other camera is for, but it doesn't seem. We have it in the downloads. I'll forget where it is. And we don't care about this right now. Yeah, so the map editor is more for myself and later, but we actually need to put like some significant time into that. Yeah, so I'm very curious how the collaboration works with like GitHub and all that. Like one person pushes things, but then you pull it into yours, and then how does is it gonna fuck shit up? Fucking shit up is the thing that I want to avoid, obviously. This thing we can close. So what position is this thing getting? $800 an hour? Yeah. That one AI guy they hired for $2 million. It's not an hourly rate, the AI guy, but now that's the other thing is I don't know what to pay. Okay, so this works, except we're not getting the position. It seems like it should be the global position, but maybe, so because we want to be, it should be centered on that thing. So maybe it's not the global position. What did we call that thing? Camera control. But we moved it to this. So we don't need this. The local position. What is this? Let's look at the remote here. And see what the position of this is. I'm always having to like check the position of things. So then what is the position that's about 500 by 500 of this? See, this is probably going to show its local position. It's 0. Oh, you know what it is? I bet you on your camera, we don't want to be over here. On your camera, you got to tell it. Let me look. Oh, we can't see. Maybe, yeah. So this is the starting. This is how the camera starts normally, is way down here. I don't have any limits on my camera. That's why it's actually complaining over here, is I don't have any of that stuff turned on. So we have drag center, fix top left. What is this going to throw into our? Is it enabled? I don't remember. Maybe I do. Okay, so that is still putting this up here. So, and I do want center. What is it called? Camera limits. Yeah. I mean, why don't we turn it off? It's the defaults probably. Yeah, I think we just have the wrong position. So this position that was about 500 by 500. What if we put this thing back? Oh, I was curious about something yesterday. What if you put that at the end? When I was debugging that other issue offline, I was curious. So basically, it wasn't what I had my breakpoint here, and it wasn't giving me this. And I was thinking, oh, I think you have to put it on the next line. So we have some sprite there. The global position. I wonder if, I think we're moving the position of this thing, of the character body. It should move its baby though. Print the global positions. It should be this though. 300 by, let's look at the remote again. We have two things running. Oh wait, I went through here. We got to close one of these. This needs to go. We need to load it. Oh, we did. Okay. And it sticks there. So let's look. Oh, we can't look at the remote because we're in the thing. But yeah, so that's probably what I'm going to do next. This doesn't seem right. What is the global position? Can you get that? I'm going to run two of them. It's not like it's a bad thing. We want the global position of Portland overlay. I don't think this tells us the global position though. I think we are going to have to print it because the breakpoint says one thing. And this position is probably 0. No, it shouldn't be 0 because it should be off a little bit. It would, this node also would be the same position, I think. No, they're off. I think the spawn position is at the top a tiny bit. This doesn't tell me its position. What is this thing's position? So this thing's position, and that seems more accurate. I don't remember how this works, where it actually, this overlay sits. This is not going to do us what we want here. Oh, the overlay sits like that without, it's just a dot? Huh. I remember that at all. What if we, what is that overlay? It's a node 2D. What if we go, we can stop this. Node 2D county overlay, and we'll say this thing, and we'll say node 2D. Do you not like breakpoints, Joker? Oh, it doesn't want me to cast it that time. And then we ditch this, and then we go county overlay. Then we run this. I think I saved it. Same thing. Sometimes you know what I just do is just it's just put its position in and then see what happens. The problem is that we will have to check with like a different so that I'm wondering too if it's something to do with we need to like do some math to it. But I don't think we do. I also vaguely remember there being, because I just dragged the camera before. So imagine the dot, because we told it to be centered. Maybe the camera's offset on main. Its position is off. So we're moving this thing. But this thing I dragged somewhere. So what if we do that? I bet you it was working all along. Where is this going to go? This is going to go somewhere fucking whack. So it put it like at 1 or whatever. Or 100, I mean. So we go back to global. So yeah, I guess I dragged the camera, not the camera body, over to there. Which is weird that I did that, but who knows? That was, yeah, okay. So it was working all along. So this is what I wanted because it was annoying me that, so every time I tested this, I would have to, like test in combat, I would have to drag it, move the window around. And I know it's minor, but that's what I wanted. Okay, so this is working. It's going to center on the player's thing. Let's go back to my project here. So this I fixed this yesterday, but then there was the second one that we'll get to. This is done. So let's close this. Majority of the time, print gets me where I'm going easy enough. I do use breakpoints as the opposite. I don't without specific in the yeah, and a random print will tell me if I'm entering the problem function or not. So I know if it's function. Yeah, it seems to be a mix for me. So usually a lot of times I notice I start with GD print, and then when I'm struggling, I start using breakpoints. The big problem I have with issue with breakpoints is you can't look at the game. You have to you only can do this to be able to see it. It minimizes it, and I don't like that at all. But if the game was paused, so if you're running it with GD prints and it airs out, you can still look and click around on shit. And maybe there's a way to keep it going, but so we're gonna probably do this one, but let's do our little test and see if we can get it to pop up, because I don't exactly remember. Let's close all these extra ones. I had that thing happen again yesterday, that at 10 o'clock I noticed there was a broken version of the game in the background, and if you click on it, it immediately crashes and goes away. All right, so that's what I wanted it to do, and it looks very ugly, but that's what we're gonna do. So we need to spawn somebody. We need to declare war, and then we need to 40 minutes to fix a camera issue. Jesus Christ. All right. So it's around. That's a good idea. I was thinking of putting a whatchamacallit, just as image back there, but your idea is probably better. So this is the part, it's around here. It's like when we win the war. I should have put oh, I did do a breakpoint. It's doing some weird hover thing. So these work. There's no tooltip there. It's right there. See, when we win the battle, it throws the thing. And I don't know, it doesn't affect anything, so I was just gonna put in, it's the divide by zero thing. I remember learning about that when I was in 2nd grade or something. What was I gonna say? If I think that I'm just gonna put in if army.count is not equal to 0, then do this. And then we'll have to set. Where are we setting this up in the first place? We'll have to do int average morale. Yeah, it set it there. And then we'll unint this. It's trying to, I don't know why it would be 0, but we're going to fuck with this a bunch later, and I just want the error to go away because it's annoying me. Let's see about this background. How do you do it? Project settings, background. Background. Viewport. Transparent background. What does that do? I'm a big clicker of things. Just click it to see what it does. Oh my god. Hey, that one guy was saying he wanted a dark mode. That kind of looks better, but how do we do it for real? Oh, but then that's going to affect those other screens too. It doesn't really matter. We're going to have a whole... So that's the other thing. Yeah, back to the $800 an hour. I don't know if I said this. I don't know what I would pay. I don't know what I would pay. $50 an hour? $25 an hour? Something like that. Something in between those two. All right. And the problem is, and I was mentioning this yesterday briefly, if I find somebody on Fiverr or something, they'll be cheaper. They'll be $5 an hour, but then it's gonna be you get what you pay for. But that's how you would do and that's we're gonna have one of those screens. I usually, if I ever do menu stuff, I usually just throw a picture in there, like find a free copyright free picture. It barely um, I do kind of like the black, but it barely matters. But I like to usually just throw a picture in there just to have it so that it's very obvious that we're in there's a loading screen, and then you also have it. You just swap out the picture when we get to the real thing. Um, so we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna close this thing. I haven't even tested it, and I'm happy with that. Search clear color. No. Add a list of combatants. All right, so now we're back to the real thing here. So the real thing is going to be, we need to add a script to this first, and this is exactly where we were. There's an old like punk rock joke about, and my favorite color is clear, about like vacuous people. We're gonna create a new script, and it's gonna be called that. Except that's not where it's gonna live. It's gonna be under scripts. I guess it's a U. I mean, it's definitely a UI thing. Yesterday when I got to this part, I was streaming and I got to this part where we needed to create the script, and in the back of my head, my thought was, Jesus fucking Christ, another script? I don't want to create another fucking script. That was my thought in the back of my head. I was just like, oh, fuck me. I don't know why. It's not that big of a deal. Let's see here. I gotta skip a song. My YouTube music has been absolute dog shit lately. All right. So this we're gonna need a public texture rec, and this is gonna be called icon. Yeah, sure, icon. I don't care. Okay, I do care. Texture rec. Then we're gonna need a label, yeah, except with a capital L, and we'll call it name label. And then we're gonna need a public label called subscription label, status label. Then we're going to build this. I think I didn't put export on them. So let's put export on these. God damn, this song sucks too. I really wish I could have this music so you guys could listen to it and you could understand what the type of music I do or don't like. Good God. This is back with my demon thoughts. Subscriptions to demons? Demonology? I sent my coworker a video about Satan, and they stopped responding to me, and it made me worry that I offended them. I thought it was funny. Okay. It's that having kids thing. You guys know what I'm talking about. Here, I'll find it, and I'll tell you. I'll show you. Oh, my thing is closed. I closed my thing. 1 second here. I'll post it in chat here. Good God, stop. So you too can what happens if I post it here? Wonder if it will. It went nowhere. It just gone. Okay, now it's gonna show up three times. All right, I'll manually do it in each chat. Let's see, Twitch, and here. It's just like, oh wait, now they showed up. Oh no, okay, that makes sense. Um, it's just a video about not having kids because I know that she does not want kids. Anyways, what were we doing? So we have to, this is linked now to these hero type texture rack. I guess we'll rename that. We'll keep it consistent. That's my rule. Hero, what? Hero type. It's not really the hero type, but I guess it is. Sort of. And we'll drag this over again. Okay, so now we have that. We can access these. We can go back to our combatant HBox thing. We'll probably need this later. We don't need these camera controls anymore. I don't think we're going to need county. We'll leave this save thing up just because I don't think we need this. Hero panel container. I don't think we're going to need that. We might need that. This is where we are at. We're going to instantiate one of these. We're adding a child. We have the population data. We're passing it in. We're creating each combatant. So we're going to go. Let's call this combatant HBox. HBox container. And then we'll go combatant. No, this is not going to be this. This is going to be a combatant HBox container. This is going to be a combatant HBox container. And then this is going to have, we're going to do the name label first. I keep doing that lately, typing in people. Right, exactly. See, that was the part of it that made me was like, this is funny. Come on. We forgot to put the text in here. And then we're going to go combatant. Not what? Oh, we're going to have to do this differently. We're going to have to put in here. I think I'll put it first. Now what the fuck am I listening to? We need a B there. All right, I gotta change my music again. I have no idea why it's so I pick like a playlist or whatever, and when it gets to the end of the playlist, the suggestions it's been giving me are just fucking awful. Okay. All right. So we're gonna get this name there, and then the status will be something. I think we're gonna have to rewrite the whole status thing. Status label dot text equals. I don't think we have a status. We have a lot of stuff. So there's a bunch of things that I don't like about how we track our heroes and whatnot. I guess I could have clicked through a different way. Yeah, I don't like how we track our hero, like this population data. We have certain stuff. We have. I decided I'm just gonna delete these export groups because this drives me nuts. Whenever I see that like this, it's just I'm just gonna blow away the export groups. So like this needs to be definitely 100% needs to be changed into a hero type thing. Let's look at what is hero type. Yeah, like aid leader temporary. Yeah, we need that. Like we need a bunch of kind of like combat statuses too. And I was thinking about this. So there's like every time I think about something, I'm like, this needs to be more complicated. So what we need is like a sub-enum category for combat. And so like we need MIA, we need all these different statuses, and we need to set them in the like as we go through things and add more complication to the combat, we're going to need to have these things anyways. So yeah, so for right now, let's just put let's just put nothing. Let's not have this thing yet. And then the next thing we need to do is deal with the icons, because the icons we can do, and what this change is going to cause like a major change. It's be pretty major to change that bool is hero to something else. But with this we can test. With that we can test. So I'm retraining myself to always click load. Now I'm thrown off by why this is over here. We need to spawn you. We need to declare war. We need you to go down here. And I don't want to speed up time because the combat, it's too quick. And we need to pause it. And we don't have any combatants. Okay. Where are my combatants? We should have had one. Oh, I stopped it? No, I did not. Was there one and I didn't see them? No, they should be over here. I wonder if I'm adding them to the wrong thing. We need player UI. We need battle log. We need all, Jesus Christ. We need combatants. We need HBox combatants. We need second scroll things. We need... I think we're putting them in the wrong. That looks right. Did I put the clear in the wrong spot? No, it clears it. I also want to redo how we do the attacking, the armies too, because there's a better way to do it. So we create combatant. We add them to the child. Is this thing, no, it would be in here. I was about to say, is this thing possibly, wait, there should be one in here already. Because it's the thing that we see at it's this. Oh, it shows that I have it selected on the remote. Is that new? I wonder if did an hour not pass? No. Definitely an hour has passed. Okay, so it's not showing up. We'll add to the VBox container, attacker VBox. We're also not getting any errors. Do we have generate if visible? So this is when we change it to be visible. We should be generating the combatants. We clear them all, then we go through the attacking army. I bet you the attacking army hasn't. No, it would have been set after though. I think. Yeah, we're gonna have to like fix this army shit. Attacking army count. Or we're passing in not a the battle isn't right. So there's like a lot of stuff like that I've noticed where it needs like it's like a major rewrite of the fundamentals, we'll call it. So like this stuff works, but it's using a bunch of garbage to get it to work. And I think rewriting some of the fundamental stuff, like we do that every 6 months or so. Um, Army, what? Generate combatants. If visible is true, is this not connected to anything? It looks to me like this isn't connected to anything. Um, let's look at, it could be a signal over here, but I did delete some signals. There's definitely no signals on here. Um, let's do it not through uh, visibility. See, this I was talking about yesterday. So, if you're writing signals, it's surprisingly easy, and it gives you like if you're not sure what they are, at least it gives you, it tells you that it's an event. Um, uh, this thing. So we want this thing itself, this margin container, um, on. We need that. That needs to be done. That needs to be signalified. I've started to not use the signals uh, in the inspector. Spawn you, declare war, move to here. So, oh, we got a bug. Bug gets us something now. Copy. Oh my god. This is wrong. We need to add, this needs to be add child. And then we need to put this in on the child. We also, I think we're deleting too much because it said attacker. There should be the thing that says that we have skip. We have skip. All right, let's see what happens. It's kind of a pain to test. It's 3 steps. That's too many steps. Oh, shit, I'm going to take a break here. Let's test this first, and then we will go from there. We declared war. We're running it slow so that we don't accidentally. Okay, so there's Amy Young. And that doesn't look centered because of their name. So this part works, except there should be a thing above. So it should say attackers, defenders. It looks like we need to skip 2. Is that right? We didn't get any bugs. Combatant, attacker. Oh yeah, there is 2. This is a label. It is 2. It's skip 2. Looks to me like we want to skip 2. All right, so that should solve that problem. And I'm going to go take a quick break. Let me throw up my break timer. And maybe if I will let me click. And then I'm going to pause my music that you can't hear, and I'll be right back. All right, I am back and turn on my break timer. Let's see what we got going here. I hit play on my music and nothing played because it was the end of a song. All right, so we need to figure out this icon thing. We need to first put them, we need to get them off of the disk, I think. So let's look at our auto load here. We're putting all of these lists of other data. These are all resources though. And we're going to be loading these texture racks. They aren't texture racks. This is going to be slightly different than I've done it before. And I think we're going to need a folder specifically for them. So let's look at our folder structure first. I want to go. So we have top bar, we have population. Where did I put that one from? We have combat, and this is the one from yesterday. We don't need this one in here though. We need like a specific one that's going to be these two. So we're going to need this one and this one as specific icons in a folder. So let's create a new folder called combatants list, and we'll put a space just to make my life difficult. And then we're going to copy this one. No, we don't need that one. We're going to need this one, and we'll paste this in here. That did not do what I wanted it to do. This is a common Godot issue. If I make a copy of this and then I click to here, it's making a copy up here because fuck me, right? So we can duplicate this. We'll call it leader icon, I guess. And then we'll move it in here. And then we will duplicate this one and we'll call it hero icon. Actually, let's call this one army leader icon and then hero. They're not subordinate, so we're not going to have a thing. What is the clock? Is something happening with the clock? Are we tick-tocking down to something? I noticed that 5 minutes late. Okay, so we have this. We need to. What are these things? Like, how do we load a graphic from disk? I've never done that. I don't think. I've always just dragged them in, but I don't think I want to do that. It would be a hell of a lot easier to do it if we just dragged them in to here. Trying to think what the downside to that is. I don't think there's a downside. When we do... Yeah, I don't think there is a downside to having it just dragged in here. Let's just drag it in here. Let's just be lazy. We're going to do a private texture rack. We're going to have 2 of these. Fuck me. And then this one's going to be called Army Leader. This might have to be a sprite, actually. And then we will build. Yeah, fuck that reading from disk shit. And we go back up to here. But I think it will be better. Yeah, this has to be a sprite, I think. What am I listening to now? This kind of sounds like Kate Bush, but it's not. I know you guys can't hear it. Sprite 2D. Yeah, I wish that I could. So on YouTube, like, you can like hover over and see if the person cares if you're streaming using their music. And most of the music I listen to, they don't care because they're like, oh, I can't put this in here either. Um, hmm. If in a texture rec, what is it that you're putting in there? It's just a. Can I put like a SVG? SVG. Resource importer SVG. What is this thing? Squib, how's it going? Are you already done streaming? Um, this importer, no, that's not what we want. I could turn it into a sprite, but I think the issue is if I turn it into a sprite, it's not gonna do what I want it to do. Let's do a test here. If we go over to this thing, and we go to this thing, and then I drag in a sprite, I just need to find that sprite. What the hell happens? Was that thing not called a sprite? Um, let's go back to our thing here. Map sprite under maps. Oh, it wants it in. So it's definitely not a sprite then. It's finding that in the root node. So it's not a sprite. How do we assign a texture rack? Godot assign text. No, that's not going to help us. Drag texture rec into exported variable. C sharp. That's what I did. It doesn't like it when I had it as a texture rack. It says no. It's an SVG though. SVG. SVG. I probably have to convert it to something. The stupid AI is usually wrong. I don't know why this one's so bad. No. The process is largely the same. Yeah, I already did that. Set that in the by dragging. It won't let me. It won't let me. It's telling me not to do that. Let's do it one more time. Did I do both these? Okay, one's a sprite, one's a texture rack. Yeah, well, let me do that. It wants another texture rack. Maybe it will be easier to read it from disk. And this one will only do that. What is this one saying? These are all from up here, though. Need to figure out what type of variable this is supposed to be. Maybe you can't do it? How do I do the other things? So I have these hero tokens. Image text, is that what it is? Let's go down here. Image texture. All right, let's try it. Joker knows all these things. Oh, we gotta build first. You know, he's got years of Godot experience. This one has a little folder on it. Um, no files found. No. Load. Oh, wait. Wait. These can be not what we want. How do we get an SVG in here? Drag SVG. Whoops. SVG. You can't file an X to get a vector. Well, whatever. It converts it to a PNG or something. Texture 2D? We'll just keep texture 2D. I know that doesn't seem right. But we'll see. Everything that I feel like should be simple is not. Oh, it lets that go in there. So then let's do this. That's in there. What happens if we, whoops. Jesus Christ, click the right stuff. Then down here, what if we say, we're just going to do it to all of them. Texture rec, texture, I assume, equals army texture rec. That it suggested that, so let's run this and see what happens. We'll probably get some other weird shit because I left that other thing in there, whatever that other thing was. Makes sense. A texture for the texture rec. All right. Let us do the wars. Let us do the wars. Okay, that works. It's kind of confusing. Sometimes I think, too, I need to draw lines around the boxes or whatever, like have an outline for all of this Excel style shit that we're going to do in this game. Okay, so it is texture 2D, which makes 100% sense since that's what we're putting in there. Node type? Node type. Reference rec? Node type? Texture type. Texture 2D worked. So then we're going to do hero icon. And then there we go. And then we're going to go. How do we know if it's the army leader? So in here, we create combatant. Oh, is it? Reference rec is a node that is just a box outline. So you could put that thing inside that. There's no way to like put a grid, just turn on like an outline. So with this, we're going through each one. And this is back to like the status and stuff that I was talking about earlier, where I was thinking about this more more extensively. So basically, we had those two different types of heroes where there was like an army and another type, and we kind of need to. And then we got rid of the army, and that was just a hero with possible subordinates that do different things. So, but I think we still need kind of like this army type information. We need some of the army information that we got rid of. We still want it to be one thing, but we need more army information because we have like all of these is hero type, like it. Why do we have is hero if we have a hero type? Yeah, the whole thing is very clunky, and I think we can do it a better way. So I guess, do we want to dive into that right now? Our goal is to push to main sooner than later. Let's see. Yeah, we have kind of a lot. Stop recruiting when in combat. A lot of these are little, though. Like that one's little. Combat death is what we're kind of working on right now. And we already did this one, but it's there just to double check. This thing I definitely want to do sooner than later, too. And this is just a bug that we got to fix. So can we do what we want to do? We can do what we want to do. Okay, with what we have right now. We can do what we have right now. With the information we have right now, we can do this. But we are going to need to rewrite a whole ton of shit at some point. And I'm just trying to decide if we should do that now, because it's pretty hardcore. We're not going to do it right now. Let's just kick it down the road, and we'll deal with those issues later. So we have this is going to be, so because this is in a thing here, we're going to go if, this isn't going to work. We're going to go if, we're going to go like, so if this is going through the army, so for the first one, we're going to know he's the army leader. The first one's always the army leader if I did my sorting correctly. So if okay, so then we would put in here a bool is army leader. This is dumb. What I'm doing is dumb. Is there another way to check this? So we're passing in one population. We got to do it up here. Is there another way to do this? So we can't say like, is this part of this army, because we don't know what army we're passing, what we're going through. We need to know. We could do it we could do this. This is what we could do. If, yeah, we can do it this way. All right, we can do this a different way. If population data is equal to army leader 0. We got to put the 0 in the right spot though. Or no, but this is close. Defending army 0. Then we're going to put this whole thing down here actually. This will always be the same. Their status will always be the same. We're going to put this up here. This is going to go down here. And then we're going to go... We're going to have to go back through themes too. I was thinking about the themes again. When we do the real thing, we're going to have to do the themes. But once again, I'm back to the monitor size changing. I think Critter said that he had a different layout for every one of them, which is fucking crazy. Like websites can handle different sizes, so there's got to be a way to make, I mean, to a point, you know, if you had a tiny little monitor like that. There's got to be a way to do it without having to do a separate thing. And, you know, it was Total War. Total War, when I expanded it to my large monitors, it would automatically stretch it, and it just looked like shit. Okay, it didn't look like shit, but it didn't look as good as it should. So if this is this, it gets this, and then we continue. Are we in a loop? No. Then we break. I don't know. We need to get the fuck out of here. Break. Return. Get me the fuck out of here. Okay, that's not gonna do us any good. No, it will, because we're gonna put over a thing here. If you know what we could just do. No, we'd be setting it twice. If population data dot is hero is equal to true, we can do that, and then we would go. That's exactly what we want. This return should kick us out of here, and this is gonna be for later. I don't know what we're gonna do with the status. We need to put if they're dead or not. Dead, MIA. We're going to have to rewrite that too, because I don't like how I wrote it. But let's see how this works. Yeah, we're going to have to go through themes and do those for real. But I want, like, we're going to need to work with an artist with that. That's the thing too, is we're going to need to find an artist that is familiar with Godot. To help with it. I mean, we don't. That's not 100% necessary, but it would help with a lot of the weirdnesses that. There's probably probably not for Godot, but there's probably like a UI specialist for the sizes, the different sizes. I mean, yeah, I don't know how do we even test that? We're gonna have to set up a fake project where we fuck with that stuff, and then we apply it to all these things. It's going to be brutal, though, because I have a lot of UI elements. And they kind of work. I think this one is, we got to attach this one to the side. It's just not attached right. But it kind of works. But if you had a little square monitor, obviously that thing would be over here. And I've known that this thing isn't attached right to the side. I think I have it anchored. Sorry, we were talking about anchors yesterday. So like this kind of works. But if you had a little tiny monitor, then you're fucked. It's weird it lets it. I don't know. Like, that's part of the issue. Anyways, they're an army leader. They got the right one. And we don't have a status yet, so that's fine. Let's do this a different way now, though. We want their texture rect to be blank if they don't have any, if they're nothing. Do we have a dead? I think we take them out of the list. I think we're going to do that differently too. We're going to do a bunch of stuff differently. First thing we need to do though is recruit some people here. 6 sounds like a lot. And then once we've recruited those people, well, let's hang out here. Once we've recruited those people, we'll it's probably enough time. Oh, they're all going to be starving. Did they all starve to death? Yeah, they all starved to death. What? Battle log control? Why are you hiding a battle log control? It's no longer called that. We deleted it. I thought I got rid of this. Battle log margin container. Yeah, I got rid of this. What we did instead, this is some old stuff. Battle log margin container dot instance hide. Where does it think the battle control is? Am I changing something? There's the battle control. No, battle log control. That's what it said. All right, let's get rid of that thing too. Do I still have that open? I don't. Um, I was at one point. At one point, I wanted to put all the elements here so it'd be easier to find them. But at this point, I have given up on that concept. We're just gonna use search a lot. All right. So what are we testing here? We need to go. So this is the testing thing where I want to have this button that turns off the testing because they're starving to death. Is what's happening. So we need to go back to their starting. And if I had one button where I could just like turn on test stuff, but I guess with the starvation, here we go. We're gonna start out with 10,000. They're all starving and they're all dead. So we needed to fix that first. Okay. We need you to recruit like 5 people. You will no longer starve to death. Wait, why don't you have any food? Um, oh, because I loaded. Is that true? Wait, we're saving the. Oh, we are. We are saving it by county. Makes sense. It's definitely something that needs to be saved. Oh, I didn't recruit anybody. You can only have 6 people here. Recruit everybody. We haven't done that in a long time. Look at all these cook people. That was Heather Cook, my wife. All right. How are you guys? Well, yeah, we definitely need a thing on here too that says their status. That 100% need that. Service. Okay, they're all ready to go to war. We need to declare war. We're gonna go to here. Whoa! The speed was too quick. Everybody's dead. Everybody's dead, and we're gonna fix this. Yeah, we're trying to get average morale when somebody's dead. When they're all dead. Speed was too quick. All right, let's do this again. We can load this time though. Heather Cook again? Oh right, because we because we loaded. All right, recruit your people. All 6 of them. Okay, that changed, so they've all been recruited. But once they're recruited, they go through like a phase where they're not actually. Yeah, like these 2 are recruited, but they haven't started service. That's the process of them dicking around and getting their shit together. All right, they're all in service. Go to 2 speed. Go down to here. Oh, we never declared war. Go back to here. I also noticed that we need it so that you can declare war when you're in a place. But that's a different story. All right, declare war. When they have a bunch of people, oh, we need this defaults to having this. Okay, but we're getting there. Oh my god, another terrible song. The name of this band is School of Fish. Get the fuck out of here. I know you guys can't hear it. So what we need to do is return from here, and then we can hide this one. If this is, oh, it's gonna throw off the. Can we put null into the texture? Yeah, let's see what that does. We have to go through this whole process again, though. The whole process. All right, Heather Cook. Get your 6. We should have a max button on here, too, by the way. Maybe if we like control click or something. We're gonna need to speed this shit up. Whenever I play another strategy game, I notice all of these things that either the other strategy game doesn't have. Like I'll be like, "Where's a button?" And then I think I need to add that to my game. And I wonder a lot about. Oh, look, we don't have any food again. Wonder why. These scavengers aren't very good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Declare war. Go over here. Oh my god, I didn't slow it down again. Jesus Christ. It's too quick. With that many people shooting one person, the person dies too quick. Alright, I do like that this is centered because I don't have to move this shit every time. Is there like a control click button? No. I tried all control, like built into that is what I was thinking. Speed it up. Don't forget to slow it down. Alright, so she kicked back to this, so that means everyone's been recruited, but we gotta make sure that they're done with they're actually in service. They are. We gotta slow it down to 2. Let's slow it down to 1. Let's declare war. Yeah, I still don't know how you do a unit test with this. Alright, here we are. Perfect. We didn't get any bugs. We have our list of people. With that thing null, though, it doesn't... So there is a problem. So see how it's not centered? Because when it's null, it smooshes it. So we got to put something there. And I guess we can just find another, like, we could just put, like, this gun. We can just put this gun. This effing fall. We will call this soldier icon. And then we will put our soldier icon in here. Then we'll save this. We'll go back up here. Yeah, I've done this thing with the texture 2D like 100 times, and I can't believe I couldn't remember that shit. Private texture 2D soldier texture rec. And then down here, instead of null, we will put, and there's probably a better way to do these if return things. A switch or something. We didn't drag this over. I also wonder about how much, I'm putting a lot of crap just in the inspector, and I often wonder, am I like, is there too much, is there too much, are we storing too much stuff in memory? Heather Cook again. She's still, because we're loading, she's still here. Still exists. So I usually wait until I see this kick over and then give it like a day or two. We have 2 recruited. Okay, I gave it a couple hours, I guess. Yeah, so I've been playing a lot of Distant Worlds too, and man, like multiple times during I'm probably played 4 or 5 hours of it. I often think I should have just played the Stellaris. It's really kind of disappointing, honestly. But during that process, I often think like, oh, I need to do this. So I was thinking about these things, and how they work, and because of Distant World 2, we got to declare war. Like when you take over a planet in Distant Worlds 2, like there's nothing to it. You don't like in Stellaris, you can like enslave the population, you can try to get them to join you, you can do all of these different things. Okay, so that works. So we have the person's name. I think it will kill this person too fast, but I was gonna say, so we can't really, but we can, what we also can do is just, oh wow, we already defeated him. Yeah, 7-on-1. So this is what we wanted, though. And then the status we are going to have to set up, but I'm not sure how we're going to do that yet. So let's go back to our list of shit and go through it here. So this is done. Oh, no, it's not. We got to do this for the defenders as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to put, after this one, we're just going to for each defending army, and then we'll put in, yep, that, and now we'll do another test again. You know what we'll do too? Just another test. So many fucking tests, man. We will load. We'll declare war right off the bat. The other thing, I've been thinking about many different things about programming lately. I was watching Critter stream, and I was wondering why he uses so many interfaces. Like everything is an interface, and I just don't understand it. I just don't know why. Like, what is the benefit of having everything be an interface? Like, I barely can see the benefit 90% of the time anyways of a interface. So these guys should be recruiting. And if we hover over this, okay, this person sucks. This person sucks. They were supposed to, they got one subordinate. It's weird that, well, no, because he has, like, real, he's not a teach himself type person. He's went to school or something, I assume. I don't have any proof of that, but yeah, we need to definitely do that. Do we have any? Okay, no, we have one more recruited. Probably done now. Yeah, this leader sucks. I wonder if any of these other leaders are any good. Oh my god, this person has one and they didn't recruit any. Oh my god, all these leaders suck. Yeah, the interface. So like, yeah, I got to figure out what the benefit is. Like you can watch a tutorial and the person goes, oh well, it's easier to do unit testing with an interface or whatever. And it's like, show me a real world example, and they just don't. And that's kind of the problem. One of the problems I have with tutorials is, and you can use it for this, and it's like, why though? Why would you show me the actual you doing that? or their example. So I watched this one guy. This is very early on of my experience with this. He was like, he had a block of code like this, and he said, but what you can do is you can create a method inside this and get rid of all this code. And I was like, really? And so then he made something similar like this, and he cut this and put it somewhere else, cut and pasted it somewhere else. And I was like, but all you did was move the code. He just put it somewhere else. Like, you didn't actually get rid of the code. You just moved it. And I was trying to figure out, like, he's just like, see how much cleaner that is? It's like, I guess. I mean, you just moved it somewhere else, though. Like, what is the benefit of moving it somewhere else? Because it looks cleaner? You know what I mean? And it was like I get yeah, sure, it looks cleaner, but you said you're getting rid of the code. You didn't get rid of the code, you just moved it. And so that's another, like, and I watched like multiple. Critter, how's it going? I was just talking about you. Are you professionally trained? Did you go to school for your thing? For your skills? Did I not move this guy? Oh god, I forgot to slow it down again. Well, I gotta sit around. Hey, you know what we could do? Is we could attack this other spot. You didn't go to school. You're a self-taughter. I was wondering why you use so many interfaces. I don't understand it. That's what I was talking about when Joker's up there. Yeah, I just don't understand what the benefit of them is. Okay, we can probably test this right here. And this is actually a better test. And this actually worked exactly how we wanted. So we have an icon for each person. This is the army leader. This is Peter Torres is this army leader. I think we sort it by their skill when there's two heroes. And this person is a another hero, and then this is so there's two leaders and one dude. They're both like you do that. Oh, that my poor assistant at work has three people that tell her what to do. All right, so that's exactly what we wanted. Um, what is going on here though? Oh, you know what? We fixed that thing, and now we can't use the camera to move around. That's interesting. Can we unpause it? We can still unpause it though. We're gonna have to have this update at different times too. I make interfaces so references to objects don't need to know the exact object they're working with. So reference to object don't need to know the exact object they're working with. See, I don't understand that. And I wasn't criticizing. I was just trying to understand. This person is still running. Wait. Oh no, Peter Torres. See, the capturing didn't work. Peter Torres is running back over here, and he shouldn't be. He should be running here because we should have captured that. But that's been a known issue. Okay, so this is we're gonna figure out this status thing. I'm not sure how we want to do this. Well, let's go through our list and checkbox the things and get rid of the things that we have done. Car driver interacts with an iCar, not distinct code from a Ford and a Nissan and a Chevrolet. Right, so that part I understand. So that is, I know what you're talking about. That's the duck thing. It's the duck thing. And so the duck thing I understand to a point, but is that all? Is that what you're doing? Is just, and I just happen to always see you working on those parts of the code because it's when every time I look, I'm like, oh, he's making another interface. It's like, so maybe that's what it is I only see it's what's that called? The bias thing. Each object has interfaces for each thing it can do. So that makes sense when you have a bunch of different objects, the duck thing, the way what you're talking about. So like on your 3D game, you're gonna have different things, stoves and not stove, kitchen appliances would be better. But I don't know what I would use them for except for that one iPersonality thing in mind because they're all the same. If that makes sense. So there's population data. There isn't different types of population. And then if there was, how would that benefit me? Because there are two different types of population. There's a hero, and then there's a not hero. So for each thing that it can do. So let's look at my population data here. Because they do things. But it's all like get data. Death by natural causes would be, but this death is the same between, they all die the same. Death by combat, they die the same. This would only apply to heroes. So this would only apply to heroes. So if I made this an interface, though, this would have to be also it has to be in the other one too, right? This is also only applies to heroes. Well, no, this only applies to the normal population, but doesn't it have to be inside the interface? This applies to both. This is a check to see if it's a hero, so that applies to both. This is the DTO. we're almost at. Get popular. Yeah, this applies to both. Check for a perk applies to both. Update is at both. And they're not different though. All right, so that's a good example. So there is, and this is one of the things I'm doing. I was just talking about earlier. Like I need to change how it works, and that is having an army, which is a group. If it only applies to, I thought they had to be in there. I thought they both have to have the interface. Everything. Oh no, I'm down for that too. What is iPersonality? I think it's actually its own code. I think it's its own. It should be. And I think I have its own folder for it. Here it is. Yeah, I thought so. I thought that anything in this interface has to have like so. This is a good example. This is the player personality. So it doesn't need this shit in here. Because it doesn't do equipment assignment, but doesn't it have to be in here? Don't you have to have something in here? Like if you, well, what? Go down here. Go, Jesus Christ. If I comment this whole thing out, doesn't it like freak out? Yeah, it like freaks out. So it has to be in there. Or am I doing it wrong? Because if a population is assigned player personality, it's up to the player to do the stuff. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have a. If it's in the interface, then it has to be in the class. But that's up to you what you add to the interface. Right. And so I have the equip. So that's part of like the thing that I think is weird about it is about the interfaces that I don't. So, for example, with your move versus do fight, you would have to put in this interface, you'd have to put move and do fight, right? Because they have the option of doing both. Like this one would have move and this one would have do fight, let's say. But don't they both have to be up here? So what you're saying is don't like let me do it this way. We'll do like a whatever test one. Wait, you're saying don't have it up here and have down here avoid iPersonality dot do fight. No, it has to be up there. So you would not have this. You'd have it like that? Whatever. Can you just teach me how to do this? Okay, so all right, I was under the impression that everything had to be up here. Can you just write this for me? Okay, so this one has do fight. Then how do I call this somewhere? I go, if they have a defensive personality, this is kind of a joke, by the way, an offensive personality. It's not. Okay, so we have do fight down here, and then we just call it by going. I need to go somewhere else. I need to go to here, and so we go. We'll do it in here in this update. Update destination. So we have iPersonality dot So we need to know what it, that's what you're talking about. When you know what you're giving orders to, you need to know what type it is. So this one, these are assigned. This thing that says iPersonality are assigned randomly depending on the person's random personality thing. So we don't know what this is. So look, we can't put in like, and we can't do fight either. See, I'm misunderstanding something. But since this one's here, if personality, so you have to, if it, you can't just assign it. If iPersonality is offensive personality offense, you check which duck it is. But doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose of having it? If you have to check what type it is, why not just use like an enum or something? And then, so maybe we would go, if I personality is equal to I personality dot, no, I personality dot, I forget if, no. So you can't really assign it. So what I use it for is currently is whether what type of equipment they assign, but it just run. I just put equipment assignment, and it knows which one to do because of that. But it has to be in here. Don't want to leave that in there. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, so that's the thing is. But the thing is, you need to know how it works before, because I've been trying to use interfaces a bunch of times, and every time I start to use one, I go, "Oh, this is actually easier just to do it this other way." Right, and that was the thing with where you were using the properties with the arrow that I'd never seen, where you were setting the thing to always be false or whatever. Um, Man, another hour's passed. What the fuck was I even working on? Oh yeah, the status. Um, Yeah, so it's like the chicken before the cart. uh, like you need to have the eye interface, but then not. You need to have the interface before you need to know that you need to use it. Um, so for status, I'm still thinking here on how we need to do this, because I think we definitely need the status. We would do. I think we're gonna need like a combat status. Actually, is what we're gonna need, because we need MIA. I wish you could do sub enums, but we can't. So we'll do a combat status, and it would be MIA dead. Actually, I think we'll use the word coward instead. And thank you, critters. It's not your responsibility to teach me all of these things, but I appreciate it. So yeah, we'll do combat status, I think, and then what we'll do is we'll set these statuses dead. Also, we need to be in there. Dead and we have that other thing that is dead. I think we could use cause of death, but it would just be bullet. It would say in their status, it would just say bullet, but we could put a different word, obviously. Yeah, have a good stream. I'm going to take a break here in a second, but I gotta let me think real quick of how we're going to do this. So probably cause of death, I think we'll leave. Not dead is definitely useful. Um, we're gonna have to like refactor that part too, I think. But we definitely need. I think it's just gonna have to be a combat status, and we'll adjust. So you know how I broke those into a list of dead people and not dead people. I think we're gonna want to combine that list back, and we'll have this combat statuses in the army because we'll also be doing. We need to have the average of the dead people's morale. The dead people's morale will be 0. So the more people who die, the more likely you are to run away, and that will solve that other problem. Um, so let's see here, combat status, and we're gonna put right now. We're gonna have man, we could actually have a bunch of these because we're gonna need a bunch of these at some point. Um, yeah, and this actually this will work out if we do it. Yeah, yeah. So if we're going to put in all that we can think of, kind of like how we did for the terrain one. So for future usage, because it's a pain in the ass to add them later because it throws shit off if I ever adjust things in the inspector, which I'm kind of not doing anymore. Um, but yeah, let's try to think of that. I'm going to take a quick break and I'll think about it outside the different. So there could be like attacking, defending, assaulting, hiding, coward, whatever. And if we have extra ones, who cares? You know, we can delete them later if we don't use them at all. Um, and like this hero, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break. Let me pause my music you guys can't hear, and let me turn my break timer, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. And silence. Silence. Yeah, I really gotta figure out music for you guys. But I don't want to hear. I don't want to play or hear beeps and boops, as I call it. Techno. What do they call that? EDM. EDM. All right, combat. Uh, has an update pop-up interface. See, I don't understand. Do they not all update pop-ups? I don't understand. Maybe some of them don't. Okay, so we're gonna have none. We're gonna have attacking, defending, coward. We're not using a lot of these. We're gonna have dead. Dead comes before. And then MIA. Why are these all lowercase? Who typed this stuff in here? Dead. Defending. Missing in action. I just think I I thought about I did I'm like level 4 or something on the C# Microsoft Learning thing, but I think I'm missing something important. Um, attacking, coward, dead, defending, missing in action. I think that is all we need for now. I'm trying to think of any. And when we do this, we're going to change how combat works pretty significantly in the future. And the more I think about it, the more like excited I get about it because of it's going to be fun. There's some stuff like designing a list that is not as much fun as designing combat. Um, okay, so we have these combat statuses, and then we're going to bring this into our population data. So, like, we could yeah, I don't understand it. Like, why not just have it in both? We got to add it to our DTOs too. And I think I am going to go to public classes. I've been thinking about that. Oh, we're going to get rid of this crap. Because it's driving me nuts. And this is the only solution. I think I am going to go to all public classes. Makes me sad, but... And then we'll not have resources. Not use Godot resources. Just doesn't seem to work as the way I want it to work, and there'll be no adjustments in the inspector then. So that will be a thing at some point. So we need to that will be a major refactor. It'll be kind of fun though too, until everything breaks. Until we've refactored and we're like, we're done. It's all fixed, and then we will find out that there's a bunch of hidden things that we didn't notice. Now back to this. So hero type. There was that other status. Whoops, I hit this thing again. Status. Oh, I guess not. Hero type, maybe? Wait, what are you doing here? Hero token. Hero subordinates. Probably, yeah, there's hero type. Qualifier is redundant. I guess we'll put it here. This is going to be a public all enums dot combat status, and it's going to be called combat status of all things. I know, crazy. You don't want this here, huh? All right. And if we go away from that, we'll probably switch away from a lot of these Godot lists and go to C# lists. Like I said, it'll be pretty major, but I think it will also solve some other issues, and we can get rid of the DTO things. Speaking of which, we got to add in the DTO to this. We'll do that at a different, definitely a different time. We'll have to plan out a couple months of agony combat status equals. Why is that one a capital? Oh, because it's it is a whatchamacallit. We're gonna add that in a second to the DTO. Is hero? No. Though that could go there. Just add more variables. That's the solution to everything, right? Add more enums. Where's our hero type? Here we go. We need to parse this. So we need this to, I guess we need to put this into the DTO right now. DTO. Yeah, I remember back when I first started this, everyone was telling me to fix this one hex thing. And not fix it, change it. They were like, you can't do that in Godot, it's too slow. And I was like, fuck that, it's so much work. I do not want to rewrite all of that code. Combat status. So everyone was like, it just isn't going to work in Godot. You can't do it that way. And I was like, no, I do not want to do that. It's such a pain. It's going to be a huge amount of work to change it. And then I had to do it anyways. And we're going to call this parsed combat status. And that was the only, because it was the only choice I had was to, we want a little C. Was this, it wouldn't work the way I had it, because it was for Unity, and then I changed it, and it was very painful, and it took me a couple of hours. It actually didn't take me as long as I thought. I think that was part of it. I was like, this is going to take me fucking 20 hours to do. But in reality, it wasn't that bad. And then kind of after that, I was like, just as I learn, shit's going to get broken and have to change. And now I kind of enjoy the ripping out a huge chunk of code and putting in another huge chunk of code. Definitely a bonus sometimes. All right, this looks right. There's probably some typo in here or something, but that looks right. Do we have any bugs? Nope. Okay, so we have put in combat status. And so what we'll do over here is we will put this into play. So we could do a switch, or we can, I think I might have a convert words to, I can't remember how I did it. I don't. So we can convert, we can change it into a string, but missing an action is going to be one word. Do I care right now? I kind of care. So the option is, because we could do with it, we could parse that thing like we just did and make it a string. We could just say MIA instead of missing an action. Where did you go? It's alphabetical, sort of. We could just do MIA. If we parse it. We aren't using most of these. We just go like that. What is your problem? Oh, you want, yeah. You want it to say Mia. Do I care that much? I guess we could do, I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to see what ChatGPT says. I haven't looked at ChatGPT at all today. ChatGPT. In C#, how do I convert this to a string but with spaces in the correct place? I think there might be a... see, there's the... then you can use it like this. Two spaced strings. Will this work on the other ones? I guess we could just try it. Regex replace. This enum value. What is this enum value? The one question I had, it's not explaining. Because I would like this to work for all enums that I have, just in case. Oh, it's not going to work though because we need to translate it. Okay, so what if we need to translate? I'm going to ask it. What if we need to translate we would probably need to put those words, the enums, as the translation, or translate the words in Godot. I bet you we would either have the name of the enum, I wonder. Look, it put a little TR. It had to write its own little TR thing. Yeah, I wonder if we did this. I'm going to do a test here. What's a word that we already have? Let's open up our localization file. And we just want a word. Word sex. Okay, so what if we put in here word sex? And then what is your problem? Does not match enum rule. All right, but we can still use it. So then if we go over here and we comment this out so that we can actually run the game, and then an auto load, do you have a ready in here? You do. Look at all this stuff in ready. Then we're going to do test string enum string translation. Then we're going to create this thing, and then we're going to put this. I don't have anything on my clipboard, so that's nice. We're going to go GD print. Can you translate stuff in GD print? I don't know if I ever have tried. Seems like you should be able to. We're going to go. I don't want this part. What I want to do is to string. Will that even work? All enums dot combat status dot word sex. But this needs to be in here. Wait, what's your problem here? Cannot resolve symbol word sex. I just picked that one, you know. You don't like that one, huh? Will it say that with attacking as well? Word sex to string. And then what if we get rid of that, and then no, we need this back for the translation. Okay, it doesn't like this to string. Use name of to reference. Really? Name of? I don't think that's right either. No. What if we do it this way? We go string equals. Okay, we can't do that. I feel like this needs to be in a thing. How did we do the other to string? We were parsing it or something. That was in our population DTO, population data. How did we do this parsing thing before? From DTO. Wait, how did we make it a string? Didn't we just put... That's going to be 2 DTO. Not that one. That one's special. So this activity is an enum, and we're able to just assign it. Okay, so with this test here, I think I have an idea. Auto load, we go all enums dot combat status. So we'll say combat status equals all enums dot word sex. Wait, this has to be capitals. Then we go translate. Get this name up shit out of here. Combat status to string. Oh, it still doesn't like that though. What are you wanting in here? One more? One more? Okay, now we're gonna run the game and see if we get some sex. Wait, do we have a translation word sex in there? Load. Sex. We got the sex. The sex has been gotten. All right, so we can do it. So if we make the enums the actual translation thing, we can just translate it and to string it. What if we put in, if we don't string it? Okay, you have to make, does it tell us that? So we could do it this way if we wanted. So what we would do is we could put in here I wonder, how was I doing these other things like activities? How was I translating activities? I think activities have they're not ever used directly like that. I think they have their own resource and it has a name attached to it. So we could though put the actual translation in here. It wouldn't, the writer wouldn't like it, but fuck writer, right? Who cares what writer thinks? Let's put this over here. We have a lot of words, but we could do it that way. I wonder if this is like a big no-no. Word, none, comma. Word, what was here before? I don't remember. Do we have attacking already for a word? I gotta sort my data here. My data has headers. Sort column A. Word. word underscore attack. Attackers. No attacking. Word attacking. And then we'll say attacking. I'm typing this on my other screen for no apparent reason. And we will translate. Well, what else we got? We got coward. I'm almost 100% positive we do not have that. And then we'll go coward. I don't know if that's going to work with translation, with a translation. We might have dead. Phrase is dead. All dead people. Okay, we do not have that. Because, you know, coward has two different meanings. Dead doesn't. I mean, I guess it does. Defending. We could not find what you were looking for. Perfect. We're going to do word defending. Yeah, this might be like some huge no-no thing. Then we're going to do, we're going to find missing in action. Nope. I didn't think we had that. Then we're going to do phrase missing in action. Missing. Do we want a capital in there? I guess not. I don't know. I feel like this should have a capital. But no. Okay, then we'll translate this shit. Later, I'm going to wonder what the fuck I was doing. Why I was doing this way. That was from yesterday. All right. So then we can put this back over here. I wonder if I can just copy these and paste them right here. Perfect. Comma, 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 no comma. I wonder if you can also tell it to like ignore these. Can you tell it to just like ignore? I guess not. I'm going to put a little note up here though. And we're going to say this is not alphabetical anymore. This is this way because then we can just translate with dot to string. What is going on down here? All right, so now we have a combat status, and we also can read this with our human eyes. We can get rid of this eye personality. We can get it. We might be messing with this. No, fuck it. Let's get out of here. We're done with this DTO thing. So back to what I had to remember why we were doing all this. So this is going to equal combat status. But what we were doing is we did to string, and then we put a TR here, and then another thing here. Nope, you don't want that? Okay, so let's do this to see if this works with my craziness here. Their default's gonna be, they're not gonna, this combat status isn't gonna be anything except, so I think it defaults to the first. I gotta close this actually. It defaults to the first enum, which is none. That's not at all what I wanted to do. We need to get rid of this and then go to our localization, which I probably scrolled past. I feel like I usually have what? You're saying that nothing changed? I don't believe you. Then we need to get into a fight. We need to get into a fight. Just leave some sex down here. We'll load. Yeah, so it's gonna default to the base thing. We got Heather Cook going still. We'll do 4 people this time. Why the fuck not? We'll go 16. And that's done. We'll check here. Everybody's good to go. We'll slow the time down. We'll pause it again. We'll declare war. We'll hit yes. We'll go down to here and we will attack. It's not going to have their correct statuses. What we want to see is a bunch of nuns. This did not translate though. No, it did. I don't know why the defenders would be in Spanish and the attackers would be in English. No, it did. We got the thing, and I'm assuming it translated. I meant to make it Spanish before we started. So I wonder if that is a bad thing that I just did. It's going to confuse me later, but I don't. Once I, I've been, why is it like this? Why, once I do that 40 times, I wanted to see something though. Okay. All right. Done with that part. So the statuses are good. Now we need to set statuses and stuff. But I think we'll do that next time. This time, what can we do for this last couple minutes that isn't pretty intense? Those are pretty intense. When recruiting, sometimes a recruiter person will just stop recruiting after they're in the recruit. I think that's not a bug. There's definitely something wrong with capturing a county. All of these things are kind of monumental. That's monumental. We're going to have to go back through all the combat for that. Finish when people die in combat. Currently, when a person dies in combat, they're put in the dead people's list. We're not going to put them in the dead people list till after combat, I think. When we show the list somewhere, we need to make it a faction or something. Why do we even have the dead people list? We actually don't even need the dead people list, honestly. But eventually. Yeah, none of these are like quick and easy. We could look at the county capture, why that's failing. And it was working sometimes. So that's the county dictator. Let's just take a glance at it. The county dictator. This is some old ass code. I'm going to change this to county. We're going to put these GD prints back. So we don't seem to ever capture the first county. So we're passing in the captured county ID and then the winner's faction ID, faction data. Remove county from. We honestly could pass in the. It's weird that we're doing the faction data, but not the whatever. It doesn't matter. Remove county from the county's faction data list. So this one. If the faction now has 0, it needs to be destroyed. That's if the actual faction is destroyed. Let's put this back. We actually could just do this. And this is the losers faction data. Losers faction data. If it's 0, we destroy. Go through all the population in the county and assign them the winner's faction. This doesn't look like it's going through shit. Why am I assigning the loser's faction? What is going on there? What is missing from here? Seems like there's a bunch of shit missing from here. Capture the county. Okay, go through all the population in that county and assign them the winner's faction. What is this doing? It's probably, so here's the winner. So this should be down here. We're assigning the winner's faction data, faction color to the county sprite. Where are we getting this county? Okay, we are directly getting it here. So that's right, or probably right. So then for each of the population, the county data, we're getting population data list. We go through each one of these and we assign them to the correct faction. So what are we missing? We remove it from here. We need to assign it to the winner's faction. Winner's faction. Count all counties. What is it? Counties faction owns. What is this? A county data list? It is. It says right there. So then we need to assign this county data to it. That's not how you do this. You do add. Perfect. So the thing, assign the factions, assign the county to the winner's faction with a apostrophe. Okay. So what the fuck are we doing? So this captures county. We're gonna go through. Is this not getting run at the correct time? Maybe. So at battle, army. This is not being used at all. That could be a problem. Look, we're getting it from like the location. This is not what we want to do. So where is this supposed to be being used? Did I just take this out for like a test or something? And then now it's gone. So yes, that's probably what happened. Yeah, oh, we have a list of attacking MIA people. So that we need to fix all this shit. I made too many lists again. Usually you solve all problems in programming with lists, but occasionally it's not right. Someone is killed. What are we in? Battle? Death by combat. So I feel like what we would be checking is once an hour, check if army flees. That dude did flee. I saw him running away. He ran away to the wrong place. Oh, check if army flees. There's some problems in here. I think I tore out a bunch so we could test it probably. So how much time do we got? Well, we don't really have enough time to dig into this deeply, but we will next weekend. Let's push this code. And when I turned on Godot today, it said that main had been changed, and I didn't change any mains. All right, so what the fuck did we do today? Added combat status enum, and we did something else. Didn't we fix something right off the bat? We know, and created and finished creating the combatants list. Let's call it hbox container, and then we will commit this. It's one of the problems I have is as I program, I'm like, yeah, this list or this whatever I'm working on, that works, but I'm never like 100% happy with it. And so so I'm just like setting, there's no way I'll never be 100% happy is the problem. I'm just going to continual. That's why, I'm going to be working on this game until I'm 70. And computers won't even exist. They'll just be like, you just jack in, you just plug in something in your head. Okay, so that has been committed. And we're done with that. Let's raid somebody. I'm going to pause my music so I can hear the people talking. And we raided Critter yesterday. Let's see if Crystal is on. He's into AI stuff. He is. So let us raid him. We shall click this button, and then I will click the start raid button, which starts a countdown. Thank you guys for joining me. I will talk to you next weekend, most likely. Yeah, I am pretty serious about hiring someone, though. The more I think about it, the better it is, and especially because our money is becoming more and more worthless every second. Thank you for joining me. I will talk to you guys next weekend. Have a good existence. Bye.